Sportsmanlike here on ESPN Radio. Unsportsmanlike is brought to you by Robinhood. Get a 3% IRA match, only $5 a month. A moment, a highlight this weekend that stands out above the rest like Robinhood. How about the big trade that was made? DK Metcalf, stud wide receiver, acquired by the Pittsburgh Steelers for a 2025 second-round pick. And then upon arrival, DK Metcalf agrees to a 5-year, $150 million contract extension with Pittsburgh. As Adam Schefter, of course, the first to report. Schefter's going to join us at after 7 a.m. Eastern today. So we hear that, and we've been thinking all along, who's the quarterback going to be? Who's the quarterback going to be? Who's the quarterback going to be? Whoever that quarterback is going to have a wide receiver in DK Metcalf that is a big-time wide receiver. So based on the move made yesterday, guys, who do you think the quarterback is going to be?
Well, I know the internet is assuming that it might be Russell Wilson returning back to Pittsburgh because he and DK Metcalf and DK Metcalf's girlfriend Normani and Russell Wilson's wife Sierra are friends. They actually introduced DK and Normani to one another. So a lot of people are wondering.
The best pass Russ ever threw to DK.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. Shout out to them. Normani's amazing. But I think a lot of people are assuming, okay, Russell Wilson obviously has this pre-existing relationship with him. Maybe he had a hand in helping with those conversations. But I still think that the Pittsburgh Steelers will go in a different direction. I think Justin Fields is more likely to be there than Russell Wilson. But even though adding DK Metcalf obviously solves a problem for them because they've been wanting to add to that wide receiver room. They have been big game hunting at that position for a while. We know their interest in Brandon Ayuk, etc. I still don't know how much this puts them closer to contention until I know who's going to be throwing DK Metcalf.
Well, I'm going to echo the same point that Damian Woody made on this show last week when he said, if you can't go out and get a quarterback that's a force multiplier, if you're going to be stuck bargain shopping with the B-listers, then make the players around the quarterback that much better where they can help to elevate the quarterback's play. And this is exactly what that move does. Whether it ends up being Justin Fields or Russell Wilson, maybe door number 3, Sam Darnold potentially being in the mix there. No matter who it is, that quarterback is not going to be on par with Lamar Jackson or with Joe Burrow. So you've got to make sure that the players, the skill around that quarterback is going to be as such that will allow your offense to contend, will allow your offense to compete. And that was the biggest problem down the stretch with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's why they lost their last 5 games, including getting embarrassed in the playoffs. Their offense just wasn't on par. So no matter what the defense did, the offense just couldn't allow the team to keep pace with those other squads. So I think that this move gives them more firepower. Now you have 2 bona fide guys on the outside that can win one-on-ones consistently. When you throw up the 50-50 balls, they're going to more often than not come down with them. And guess what? You can't double both of them. So that already makes your offense that much more explosive. And when you couple that with their offensive line getting healthier and continuing to improve, I just feel like it sets the groundwork for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense to be much more explosive in 2025. I'm with you. I'm not sure that I'm ready to dub them a contender just by this move in isolation. I want to wait and see what they do the remainder of the offseason. But I think this is a step in the right direction.
So a few things on this. Number one, I'm not 100% sold that Pickens will be there. I think there's still a potential chance that they move him because he's going to want to get paid. There's a guy in the wide receiver room that's done nothing for the Steelers that's making $30 million a year. And there's always been stuff with Pickens. It's weird with Tomlin and whatever. So let's wait to see if he's even there. Number 2, if you're paying receivers to make quarterbacks great, you're probably not going to be a great team. And number 3, Dan Orlovsky sat here last week with us, ESPN NFL analyst, and we said, give us one kind of thing to keep an eye on. No guarantees. He said, the Steelers being aggressive at the quarterback position. So based on this move, what does that look like? Because everyone on the internet, if you're going to go based on the internet stuff, all like Booger McFarland, great ESPN NFL analyst, said, well, now it can't be Fields. It cannot be Fields to be the quarterback because DK and Fields would not mesh. A lot of people are saying the same thing, that it cannot be Justin Fields. But who can it be? What would aggressive now look like at the quarterback position?
Well, wouldn't it be Sam Darnold? Wouldn't you dub that as aggressive?
So let me ask you. No, I don't. That's the thing. Why?
Is he the best quarterback available on the market right now?
I guess, but maybe not. Depending on the money, maybe he's the best, but not the most valuable.
Is he an upgrade over what they have right now?
I don't know the answer to that question. I'm not sold. I'm not sold, right? I'm really not.
For the money that it was cost, I can't say that either.
Yeah.
I'm with Ev on that one.
If you're telling me Russ will come back 2 years, 20, I'm making this up, which is probably low of what he's looking for. But $10 million a year with the pre-existing chemistry with DK, as you pointed out, Smalls, I don't know. That feels more like of a value play than Sam Darnold at 40, 45 a year for multiple years, because I still need a quarterback. That's the thing. I don't know what aggressive looks like at the quarterback position, and I almost get the feeling the Steelers are surprised that Sam Darnold's available. Like we saw these reports.
What do you mean?
I'm serious. It's like now they're going to turn their attention maybe to Sam Darnold. Did you not know he was a free agent a few weeks ago?
Well, I think they didn't know how aggressive other teams would be in trying to acquire Justin Fields. I think that's what's happening behind the scenes, right? Because we heard early on in the offseason process that the Steelers were leaning Fields over Russell Wilson. Well, if that's the case, then why isn't the Fields deal done? You could have signed Justin Fields ahead of free agency. You don't have to wait until the start of the new league year to do it. So the fact that it's played out this long lets me know that there are other teams behind the scenes that are setting the stage to make an aggressive run at Justin Fields. And the dollar figure is going to a territory where the Pittsburgh Steelers are now uncomfortable, which is why you could potentially see a pivot to Sam Darnold. After Matt Stafford fell through, after not being able to get Fields under contract over the last several weeks, they're looking at what's potentially behind door number 3, and Sam Darnold feels like the clear and obvious best quarterback that you can get without having to give up any draft picks.
Would you go there if it was 45 a year? Let's say 4 years, 45
For the
a year.
Pittsburgh Steelers, you have to consider it, because what else are you doing? You have to be able to take advantage of T.J. Watt and Cam Hayward and Minkah Fitzpatrick in the twilight of their primes.
So then let's play this out.
You got to go for it.
Let's play this out, right? Let's say it's Darnold. Let's say I'm wrong. They keep Pickens. DK's there. You mentioned the defense.
My point is this. After making this DK Metcalf trade, you have to keep Pickens. You have to keep Pickens.
So then
you have to.
Then Mike Tomlin.
What's the point of the exercise? Swapping out DK Metcalf and then trading George Pickens only puts DK Metcalf in the same exact situation that Pickens has been in the last couple of years.
And it doesn't make you better.
It doesn't make you better. So you have to have those two receiving threats. Even though Pickens is mercurial, that's a whole lot of attitude in your wide receiver room. But guess what they also do? Those guys produce. Those guys consistently win one-on-ones. And as my coach said once upon a time, if you consistently win one-on-ones, you're going to make a lot of money in this league. And if you're George Pickens, you're looking at what DK Metcalf just got, and you're saying, you know what? That could be me in a year. So,
Pickens, Metcalf, Darnold, that defense, Tomlin has to win a playoff game, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're not going to fire him, obviously.
They probably have to win a playoff game, period, regardless of what else they do.
We say you got to win a playoff game, but what's the recourse if he doesn't?
Well, you're never going to find a coach better.
You're not going to.
You actually would look for a coach
They're
worse.
never going to fire Mike Tomlin.
To get a higher draft
They're
pick.
never going to fire Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin would quit them before they fired him.
All right, we got upon further review coming up, but today is a big day in terms of free agency. A lot of people, a lot of NFL owners around the league are going to be taking out their credit card smalls to pay for a lot of contracts all over the place.
Hai màu len. Đây mọi người sẽ chỉnh góc độ để nhìn thấy rõ hai màu len, sau đó mình sẽ buộc cố định lại nhé. Ok nha mọi người. Đây mình móc xuống này. Cố định phần dây treo. Mọi người buộc thắt nút vào cho mình. Đây mọi người buộc thắt nút nhé. Để cho nó không bị bung ra trong quá trình mình sử dụng. Để mình buộc nút lại. Mình sẽ siết chặt dây. Ok rồi, bây giờ sẽ cắt ngắn đi nhé. Cắt ngắn đi một chút. Đấy, mình sẽ được cái phần dây treo như thế này. Đây là mặt sau nhé, mặt sau. Mặt trước thì nó sẽ không có các cái vết nối này, nó sẽ đẹp hơn. Đây mặt sau, mặt trước thì đây, không một tí vết. Rất là xinh. Rồi mình sẽ làm phần trang trí tiếp theo này. Mình dùng đến cái phần len màu vàng. Mọi người gỡ len ra để sử dụng nhé. Bây giờ mình sẽ móc cái phần màu vàng này vào.